All right, can you just start by talking about this team's performance as a whole, just kicking off the season with a big win?
Yeah, I really like the way we guarded the ball. They've shown, watching a lot of their film from last year, their ability to get the ball to the front of the rim, get their feet in the paint, and then get to the offensive glass. And those were the two we felt like biggest challenges coming in. I thought our guys did a good job of moving their feet, a good job of switching when we needed to switch, staying with when we needed to stay with, and being able to stay square to the basketball was really important tonight. I thought we did that on enough possessions, and then we rebounded better in the second half.
Yeah, can you just talk about that big offensive run you guys went on in the first half that just really switched the momentum?
Yeah, that's been pretty consistent for us. Through our practices in our scrimmage with South Dakota and the exhibition game against Upper Iowa, what we have done offensively in terms of moving the basketball. And we've seen a lot of that over the last 6 weeks. I feel like our roster is built that way in terms of having multiple guys that can handle the ball, can get assists, can score at the rim, multiple guys that can make threes. And so I really like the way our roster is built offensively. But then what it really takes is guys that trust each other, guys that are willing to move the basketball, make an extra pass. We saw a lot of that today. I think it was 24 assists we had tonight. We had 24 assists against Upper Iowa. That's been fun to be a part of. For this early in the season, to have a team that's moving the basketball the way that this team is has been impressive.
Jake, Caden mentioned the 21-2 first half run you guys had. After that, Northridge goes on a 13-3 run. Under 4 immediate time out of the first half. What's kind of the message at that point as Northridge is on that run?
Yeah, I talked to the guys about two things, Josh. One, that we had played a great half. We had been really good defensively, as I talked about. Done a great job of attacking with our offense and sharing the basketball. So I just told the guys, hey, we have played a great half. This has been a great 15, 16 minutes. And number two got loose for them, made three straight threes. And that put a dent in our 24-point lead. But I said, guys, look, man, we have played a great half. Right? So let's go out and finish it off and really attack defensively. Get on the defensive glass, and then let's really attack, right? And see if we can find a couple of easy baskets here to finish off the half. But mostly it was just to remind them that we have played a great half.
What, off the top of your head, when's the last time, or do you remember the last time you forced 20 turnovers?
No. Yeah, I think that a big part of that would be what we did on the ball, staying square to the ball, keeping it in front of us, right? And then also our activity, one pass away and 2 passes away, covering up behind the ball screen. Our rotations. I think there were probably 6 to 8 possessions where we made it hard enough that a pass ended up going over somebody's head, or we were able to get a deflection and pick up a loose ball. And when you do that 6, 7, 8 times in a game, it's going to have a real impact.
And then 17 fast break points tonight. The transition offense really seemed to click.
Yeah, and that's especially like I said, going into this game knowing that they're going to attack the offensive glass and put a lot of pressure on us. Our defensive rebounding. We felt like if we could do it well enough, if we could block some guys out and go get some defensive rebounds, get some clean rebounds, that we would be in position to go do what you're talking about, Josh, and that's push the basketball back at them and see if we can get to them before they set that defense. And it felt like we were able to do that. And I thought key times in the second half we were able to do that. Benny had a layup, kind of had the rim by himself. And there was a couple other ones that I felt like were really important in the second half, so we didn't have that kind of 20-point lead go to 12. It stayed around there, and then the next time we got a push, then it goes up to the mid-20s, and a lot of it had to do with the transition offense.
And then just from an offensive game plan standpoint, early in the first half, it felt like there were some shots that happened early in the shot clock, and then later in the first half, in particular, during the 21-2 run we've talked about, there were some possessions where a little bit more of the shot clock was used. From an offensive game plan standpoint, for you and your staff, how do you strike the balance between early shot clock offense and then maybe using a bit more of a shot clock on possession?
There's some time and score, some games, some situational things that certainly play into that, right? Outside of those where maybe you're big running a game either way, or end of half, or you're getting into the nitty gritty, down the stretch. Outside of that, Josh, I like to leave that up to the guys, right? And Trey's a terrific leader. Max is really savvy offensively. Ben and Leon are guys that can handle the ball and pass the ball. Up front with Will and Tristan and Ismail, you got guys up front that are skilled and can handle the basketball. And RJ, obviously, is a point guard. So there's Kyle has got a terrific feel for playing, and so this roster is made up with guys that get it. So I like to let the guys make a lot of those decisions. The one thing that I talked about is being aggressive, and they're really attacking.
Career high 7 assists for Trey tonight, 7 assists to 1 turnover. His game seems to be, at least from the outside, really continuing to evolve at both ends.
Yeah, he's worked hard every year that he's been here. But I would tell you, I'm taking it up even another notch this past off season, and that's work on the court, also work in the weight room. He's really put his time in, and you can see it. His strength is different. His quickness he's a little bit quicker. Right? I don't think he's going to get tired much. He's put in that kind of time. For it's been 6-8 months. He's really been after it, and I think that you can see that with him.
One more for you, Jake. With the starting lineup tonight, we saw Ben off the bench. Was working back from a little bit of an injury, it sounded like, based on your comments after Upper Iowa. Do you anticipate running with the starting 5 that you played tonight, or could that potentially change going into Sunday and beyond?
No, I think I hadn't thought about it yet, but I think Sunday it'll be the same starting lineup. Yeah, we'll bring Benny off the bench, and I really liked how that felt tonight. And he's because of the injury, he's only had a few practices, so that's how we got to where we are. But I really liked it, and the guys, Trey, Max, Leon, those guys have done a great job of leading and earning their spot too. And Benny's obviously a starter. He's already shown that at this level, and for us last year, and he's obviously a starter. But without thinking about it too much, Josh, I would tell you that we will start the same